Look back at the year 2017 and some of the most historic political and diplomatic events. Zoom in on the development of the Korean economy in 2017 with a 3% growth and $1 trillion in trade. Find out about some of the hottest social issues that shaped the year 2017. Learn more about the key issues in the culture and arts industry in 2017, including the government's blacklist. The Korean public was at the heart of the unprecedented political turmoil in 2017, with the first impeachment of a president in history and the launch of the Moon Jae-in administration. Take a look back at Korea's politics and diplomacy in 2017. Politics have exerted great influence on Korean society this year.
피청구인 대통령 박근혜를 파면한다.
According to a survey, the impeachment of former President Park Geun-hye and the launch of the Moon Jae-in administration were chosen as the two biggest issues of the year. The Moon Jae-in administration was established through the power of democracy and brought many radical changes to the country, starting with Cheongwade, Korea's presidential office and residence. The work environment has improved dramatically, and the road in front of Cheongwade is now open to the public 24 hours a day. Before the change, it closed at 8 p.m. Also, President Moon continued to impress the public with his friendly, wholehearted attitude, resulting in his high approval rating, around 70% on average, for 7 consecutive months after taking office.
그동안 우리 사회가 그야말로 켜켜이 쌓여왔던 여러 가지 사회적 불평등 구조라든지 특권 그리고 기득권 구조를 온전하게 해왔던 그러한 구조를 가능케 했던 이 사회적 시스템을 바꿔야 된다라는 요구가 촛불혁명의 전 핵심이라고 생각합니다.
In pursuit of the goal, the administration conducted extensive investigations of the former president's massive power abuse scandal and radical reforms in power institutions. The first step was the nomination of cabinet members. The head of the disgraced National Intelligence Service was replaced. A progressive jurist was appointed as the chief officer for civil affairs. And a non-prosecutor was named for the Minister for Justice, speaking to President Moon's strong will for reform. The newly appointed officers are striving to achieve profound reform of authoritative agencies and thorough investigations of the power abuse scandal.
권력의 사유화 그리고 대통령을 오로지 향하는 그런 그 권력기관들의 속성들 이러한 것들 많이 드러났다고 생각합니다. 많은 증거와 진술이 확보됐고 또 범죄 혐의자들의 구속도 이루어졌고 그러면서 볼 때는 정치 공작이라든지 여론 조작이라든지 이런 사찰 문제 이런 것들은 과거 정권에서 많이 있어 왔다는 것이 밝혀진 것 이것은 큰 성과가 아니냐 이렇게 생각이 됩니다.
President Moon faced both foreign diplomacy and national security challenges during his first year in office. He started his term amid continuous provocations from North Korea, China's retaliation against the deployment of THAAD, and escalating tensions between the U.S. and China. To address those issues, President Moon held nearly 40 summit talks over the past 7 months while attending many international events, including the 2017 G20 Hamburg Summit, UN General Assembly, and Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation. One of his key foreign diplomatic strategies was balanced diplomacy. The president maintained a strong alliance with the United States for the peaceful resolution of the North Korean nuclear crisis, while strengthening cooperation with China at the same time. Through President Moon's state visit to the U.S. in June and President Trump's state visit to Korea in November, the Moon administration confirmed Korea's strong alliance with the U.S. bonded by blood.
Korea is very important to me, and there will be no skipping South Korea. I can tell you that right now.
President Moon also made a state visit to China recently to normalize the relations and expand exchanges between the two countries.
As well as President Moon has been able to settle, at least for now, the issue of THAAD, the missile defense system deployment in South Korea, which is China opposes. So I think it's just a temporary solution to the dilemma. But I think President Moon has managed to stabilize South Korea's relations with China, which has been in rocky waters.
Instead of strict formal procedures, genuine trust and interaction are the central elements of President Moon's diplomacy. President Moon extended Korea's diplomacy to the ASEAN and Eurasian countries through his new Southern policy, aimed at boosting ties and economic cooperation. It is considered one of his major accomplishments.
Balanced diplomacy is essentially trying to find South Korea's own policy autonomy between two major powers, which are actually clashing in this part of the world. Multilateralization, our diplomatic efforts, is to look beyond the great power diplomacy and to have better relations with different regions in the world and different other like powers in the world.
With the objective of peaceful prosperity and expanding an economic map of the Korean Peninsula, the administration will continue to strengthen Korea's diplomacy in the year 2018. The Moon Jae-in administration faced a number of extreme domestic and foreign challenges from the beginning. There's still so much to be done, but the president's high approval rating represents the public's genuine trust in the new administration. That's exactly what makes us anticipate the upcoming year. How has the Korean economy changed over the past 7 months under the Moon Jae-in administration? Let's take a look at the economic policies and issues that shaped the economy this year. President Moon Jae-in delivered a congratulatory address at an event marking the 54th anniversary of Trade Day.
올해 우리는 세계 6위 수출 대국으로 발돋움했고 세계 시장 점유율도 역대 최고치를 기록 중입니다.
Despite the massive political turmoil, the Korean economy has seen a 3% economic growth, with trade volume reaching $1 trillion for the first time in 3 years.
상당히 우리 경제가 안정권에 들어와 있다고 보고 있는 것이고요. 특히 현재 우리가 겪었었던 정치적 혼란이라든지 혹은 북핵 문제에 비해서 상당히 선전한 것으로 보고 있습니다.
One of the major contributors to the GDP growth rate is exports. According to the Korea International Trade Association, Korea's export volume recorded $575 billion this year, a 16.1% increase from last year's figure, making the country's world's 6th largest exporter after China, the US, Germany, Japan, and the Netherlands. The semiconductor industry has particularly flourished this year. Until November, semiconductor sales reached $88 billion, a 56.6% jump from the same period last year. Samsung Electronics beat Intel after 24 years to finally become the world's #1 ranked semiconductor supplier. It was a truly historical moment in the global semiconductor market.
4차 산업혁명이 진전이 되고 그러면서 이제 고용량, 성능이 좋은 것들에 대한 제품에 대한 수요가 계속 생겨나기 때문에 그렇게 반도체 경기 지금 좋은 것이 단기간에 꺾일 것 같지는 않습니다.
특히 반도체 산업의 특성은 초대형 장치 산업이거든요. 그래서 진입 장벽이 굉장히 높습니다. 그래서 몇 개 세계적인 주요 기업들만 반도체 산업을 유지할 수가 있다고 보고 있고요.
In addition, petrochemical products, steel, and flat panel displays added to the record-breaking exports volume. The outstanding performances of big companies led to more foreign investors buying South Korean stocks. Also, Korea's benchmark Kospi index finally broke above the 2,500 points in October after a long 6 years, as cumulative business profits in the third quarter surpassed $110 trillion. the shift in political power brought changes to economic policy as well. Jainomics is a combination of Jain and economics, with its fundamental principles based on income-led growth. Under this policy, increased household income spurs consumption, which then increases company earnings, leading investment, and ultimately economic growth. It aims to create a virtuous cycle of distribution and growth to overcome Korea's chronic low growth and deepening economic polarization.
대기업의 수출에 의존한 경제 성장 정책이 민간 부분으로 이제 전이되는 것이 좀 약했다라는 반성에서 출발한 그 민간 부문의 일자리를 먼저 늘려서 소득을 늘리고 그래서 소비를 늘리고 생산과 투자가 늘어나는 그런 게 이제 제이노믹스의 소득 주도 성장 정책을 새로 택한 건데요. 이거는 성장 정책의 어떤 패러다임 전환이라는 측면에서는 큰 의미를 가지고 있습니다.
There have been many outside influences that impacted the Korean economy in 2017. Seoul decided to proceed with the development of the THAAD missile defense system following North Korea's continuous nuclear provocations, and China immediately took retaliatory measures. China is the largest trade partner for Korea, accounting for 25% of its total exports. The volume dropped significantly in the first half of the year, but fortunately rebounded in August, with continuous growth ever since. The retaliation measures have been virtually retracted after President Moon paid a visit to China and agreed on cooperation with Chinese President Xi Jinping. There are some issues that heated up Korea's financial services industry. The internet-only bank Kakao Bank resulted in a paradigm shift in the banking industry, with some 3 million people opening accounts in the first month of operation. In the second half of the year, the virtual currency Bitcoin created a worldwide buzz. However, many murky areas remain when it comes to virtual currency trading, with several cases of hacking into Bitcoin exchanges.
유럽 쪽은 좀 규제를 하려는 것 같고 미국은 선물 시장이 생길 정도로 어떤 제도권 안으로 끌어들이려고 하고 있고 근데 우리나라는 아직까지는 그런 가상화폐로 인한 사회적인 이슈가 좀 최근에 터져가지고 규제를 좀 당분간은 할 것 같습니다.
It remains a highly controversial yet powerful form of currency, and the dispute is likely to continue in the upcoming year. 2017 has been a turbulent year for South Korea, with a long economic recession. Koreans managed to conquer the challenges, but this is just the first step. Building on this year's accomplishments, the country will look to find new ways for sustainable growth in the coming year. The Korean public fought against corruption in 2017 in hopes for a more transparent society, using the turnover of political power as momentum. At the close of an eventful year, we'll zoom in on some of the most significant social issues throughout the year. Which social news stories left the biggest impression on the public in 2017?
올해 여러 가지 일이 있었지만 그래도 세월호 인양이 제일 인상이 남죠. 왜 이제 인양이 됐나 싶기도 하고요. 그래도 이제 지금이라도 인양이 돼서 다행이라고 생각합니다.
The most unforgettable news story, according to the public, was the raising of the Seoho ferry.
구미의 마음으로 세월호를 인양해 주세요. 역사와 자라나는 아이들 앞에 부끄럽지 않도록 부디 함께 해주세요.
The Seoho ferry was raised from its cold, watery grave on March 22nd, with parents wailing for their missing children. Then the salvage effort was completed on April 11th, 1,091 days, nearly 3 years after sinking, with the loss of over 300 lives. The salvage of the Seoho ferry had very symbolic meaning to the public. It announced the beginning of resolving many unnecessary conflicts in society.
세월호 같은 이제 재난의 경우에는 사실은 그게 정치적으로 갈라져서 서로 뭐 비판하고 싸우고 할 아무런 이유가 없는 사건이었고요. 국민들이 공연히 하지 않아도 됐을 갈등을 그동안 하고 있었던 건데 이제 그런 불필요한 정치적 갈등의 소지가 사라지고 나니까 오히려 더 쉽게 사회적 합의에 도달할 수 있는 뭐 그런 기반이 마련된 거겠죠.
Besides the salvage, there have been many important moves aiming to resolve social conflict and inequality. This is a job application form for a public institution released in the second half of 2017. In contrast to Korea's usual job application form, there's no space for a photo or educational, family, and regional backgrounds. It was part of the government's new recruiting system for public sectors, also known as blind recruitment.
그 사람이 얼마나 그 직무에 적합한가를 좀 질적으로 판단하려고 하는 그런 그 정책이라고 볼 수 있고요. 직업 선택에 있어서 기회평등의 중요성을 각인시키고 그런 방향으로 정책을 잡았다는 면에서 의미가 있다고 봅니다.
Soon, the entire job market adopted the system. Of course, there were many worries and concerns regarding blind recruitment.
역차별의 그런 가능성들이 있고 그러한 사람들의 어떤 그 국민으로서 기본권을 침해할 수 있는 가능성이 충분히 있어서 그런 부분에 대한 검토가 있는 것이 중요하다고 봅니다.
There were some events calling on radical changes to deep-seated problems in Korean society, including the egg contamination scandal in August. This scandal initially started in Europe after tests revealed a high level of fipronil in eggs in supermarkets. Then the scare stretched to Korea with the discovery of some Korean farms that used harmful pesticides on their chickens. Egg producers focused more on earning profits than the environment or the public safety, while the government and consumers were somewhat negligent in food safety, leading to a nationwide egg scare.
먹거리에 대한 불안감이 생기게 되면 우리 사회 전체에 대한 불신감이 커지게 됩니다. 우리 사회가 안전하지 않고 불안한 심리를 더 부추기는 쪽으로 가기 때문에 특히 먹거리 같은 경우에는 어떤 국민의 어떤 그 식량 주권이라고 하는 견지에서 기업이 윤리적으로 그런 문제를 발생하지 않도록 각별히 유의를 해야 될 것으로 생각을 합니다.
There have been some natural disasters that caused widespread public alarm regarding safety ignorance. Apartment outer walls collapsed and building foundations cracked. On November 15th, a rare 5.4 magnitude earthquake struck the city of Pohang, a southeastern coastal region of South Korea. The earthquake took place the day before an annual college entrance exam, and the exam had to be postponed for the first time in history at such short notice over safety concerns.
한국은 지진이 안 일어나겠지라는 막연한 전제 위에 이제 모든 경제 활동도 하고 뭐 에너지 수급 정책도 거기에 맞춰서 세우고 이렇게 진행을 해왔는데 이게 밑바탕이 흔들릴 수도 있구나. 그러면 우리도 안전에 대해서 다시 생각해야 되고 안전에 들어가는 재원을 단순히 잃어버리는 비용이라고만 생각하면 안 되겠구나. 이런 자각을 하게 해주는 계기였다고 봅니다.
As a result, the government expanded the region of earthquake nearly warning on the 19th of the month and reducing the warning time for earthquakes and tidal waves to under a minute. (2017) marked the beginning of a long journey to eradicating numerous deep-rooted social ills throughout the country.
올해의 사자성어가 파사현정이 선정이 됐더라고요. 그릇된 것을 깨고 올바른 것을 드러낸다. 뭐 이런 뜻인데 올해 있었던 커다란 변화들을 본다면 뭐 적절한 선택인 것 같아요.
Hopefully, we will realize a society in which everyone has equal opportunities to achieve their dreams, and their safety is guaranteed in 2018. Let's give an overview of Korea's arts and culture industry in 2017 and some of the hottest issues. South Koreans like their new president, as evidenced by his unprecedented fan base for a politician.
문재인 구출을 보면서 이러한 정치가 문화 쪽으로 확산이 되는 것은 좋은 방향이라고 생각을 했습니다. 정치에 좀 더 관심을 가질 수 있다는 점이 학생들에게 보면은 이런 투표권 행사나 봤을 때도 좀 더 정치를 좀 더 대중들에게 확산할 수 있는 쪽으로 좋은 쪽으로 저는 보고 있습니다.
The public went crazy over an item worn or consumed by President Moon.
문재인 정부 들어서 국민과 적극적으로 소통하려는 다양한 형태의 소통 방식들이 국민들로 하여금 정치에 더 깊이 개입하게 만들고 또 본인들의 생각을 과감없이 올리기도 하고 이럴 수 있는 기회를 갖는다는 거죠. 그래서 결국은 정부 기관이 어떤 형태로 국민과 소통하려는 의지를 갖고 있느냐에 따라서 얼마든지 정치는 국민들에게 관심의 대상이 될 수 있다. 이렇게 볼 수 있겠습니다.
In terms of lifestyle, there was a phrase that brought about a sensational trend among Korean youngsters. It's YOLO, standing for You Only Live Once. This new lifestyle resulted in a huge change in the culture industry as well. People no longer hesitate to enjoy cultural performances on their own. Many even watch the same productions repetitively, not to miss out on a single element, boosting the industry dramatically. More youngsters are traveling alone, seeking a refreshing break from their daily lives.
우리 욜로 같은 삶을 살자 이런 얘기 되게 많이 하거든요. 근데 그게 사실은 그냥 정말 우리 욜로 같이 살자라는 의미가 아니라 요즘 삶이 너무 힘들고 그냥 정신적으로 힘드니까 그렇게 정신 위안을 삼는 거라고 생각합니다.
불안과 저성장기 속에서 사람들이 또 미래를 계획하거나 또 미래에 대한 전망 같은 것들이 굉장히 좀 불투명하기 때문에 또 이런 현상이 나타난 거이기도 합니다. 그래서 이게 굉장히 밝고 명랑한 키워드 같지만 어떻게 보면 좀 불황의 그림자가 좀 짙게 드리워져 있는 키워드이기도 하죠.
Early in the year, the Korean public worked a democratic miracle after exposed corruption and irregularities by the government. One of them was the government's blacklist of cultural figures deemed unfriendly to the former president and debarring them from government-controlled support programs.
블랙리스트가 존재하는 게 맞아요, 안 맞아요?
예술인들의 지원을 배제하는 그런 명단은 있었던 것으로 판단이 되고 있습니다.
The majority of formerly blacklisted artists had released statements condemning the investigation of the Seraho ferry disaster or were supporters of then presidential candidate Moon Jae-in. Apparently, the list affected nearly 10,000 artists.
헌법에 규정돼 있는 언론의 자유, 표현의 자유를 억압하는 아주 죄질이 나쁜 그리고 헌법적 가치를 훼손하는 그런 행위였다. 또 그걸 민간인도 아니고 정부 기관이 나서서 그런 행동을 했다는 것은 도저히 용납될 수 없고 반드시 발본색원해야 된다. 그 말은 끝까지 모든 걸 다 찾아내서 잘못된 부분들을 바로잡는데 현 정부가 노력을 해야 된다 이렇게 생각이 됩니다.
To amend that abuse of power, President Moon Jae-in's new administration set up a fact-finding committee with previously blacklisted art critic and educator Hwang Hyun-san appointed as chairman of the Arts Council Korea.
앞으로 이런 일이 벌어지지 않도록 정부가 재발 방지 약속을 하고 그리고 예술인들의 경제적 곤란을 해결해 줄 수 있을 만한 또 다른 방안이 나왔으면 좋겠습니다.
Many talented theatrical artists also began to receive adequate government support.
문재인 지금 대통령이 후보로 나왔던 때 문재인 지지 선언 1,000명에 제가 서명을 했었대요. 그래서 저는 그걸 한 것도 잊고 있었거든요. 근데 그것 때문에 블랙리스트에 올랐다고 그러더라고요.
Her performance troupe will greet the public in spring next year with a play portraying the lives of non-Koreans in Korea, including foreign workers and North Korean defectors. Last but not least, we have BTS, a boy band that has been taking the whole world by storm.
And the Billboard Music Award goes to
As the winners of the Top Social Artist Award at the Billboard Music Awards held in May, BTS gave a historic solo performance at the 2017 American Music Awards.
무대를 본 사람들은 잊을 수가 없는 게 경이적인 퍼포먼스를 보입니다. 에너지가요. 곧 무대를 갖다가 거의 폭파할 것 같은 그런 느낌. 그 강력한 에너지에다가 멤버들의 케미스트리가 전체적인 조화가 무대에서 돋보여요. 7명이 아주 유기적으로 무대를 갖다가 퍼포먼스를 꾸려냅니다.
Plus, they were named a Billboard Top 10 artist on the chart's year-end list for 2017, rewriting the history of K-pop overseas. Culture and arts are the mirror and lighthouse of society. 2017 has been a very meaningful year in the aspect that it normalized the culture industry and established this administration as one that places citizens first.